Welcome to I May Be Wrong.
I don't know what this world is coming to,
but I don't think so. We're broadcasting from the greater Nashville area, the home of country music, beyond the borders of political correctness and identity politics. There are demarcations. Truth lights our path.
Here's the Barry White of Podcast Radio,
the Venerable Alfonso Ashworth.
Well, welcome to another exciting episode of I May Be Wrong, but I Don't Think So.com, of course. You can join me there. We got a great guest lined up for you this episode. I'm very excited to have this person on because she's making a name for herself in the political world. She's making her name in the world in the podcast, in the radio. She's doing so much out there for her community. I'm very excited to have Lucretia Hughes on my show. She was recommended by a fellow Tea Party Patriot. And I'm proud to let you know that she is also a fellow Tea Party Patriot from the great state of Georgia. Of course, Lucretia's got a wonderful story she wants to share. Of course, she has received her associate's degree in business management and administration from ITT Technical College. She is currently works as a financial professional at National Financial Services Group. She is a strong advocate for religious freedom. Stopping refugee settlements in Georgia and unnecessary tax state fees. The quality of life for Barrow County residents. In addition, she serves as the president of the Lanier Tea Party Patriots, and is a member of the Barrow County Republican Party. She also served as a former assistant secretary for the Barrow County GOP. Lucretia has been honored by Speak Up Georgia for her contributions to uplifting and advancements of the conservative movement. She is also named to the Who's Who Georgia Conservatives. And folks, on top of all of that, she's of course, she's had some tough years, but Lucretia pulled herself out of the depths of despair and was given a new lease on life. She uses this unique perspective for a betterment of her fellow Americans and her country, which she loves. She has 4 children by the age of 20, 7 grandchildren by 44, and she never gave up. Remember that. She never gave up. She comes from a military family and works as an independent insurance broker in addition to her work with Fallback Productions. Today, she wants to make sure she does the right by following the blessings she has received by paying it forward and leaving a legacy for her grandchildren. Amen and amen to all of that. Of course, she's right in the queue. We're going to have her on in just a second. I'm very excited about this, as I said before, because she is someone that is on the radar. If you like people like Candace Owens, you're going to love. She's out of that same mode. She has that same passion. And of course, when you get to see this person and get to know her, you're going to want to be a part of what she's doing. Of course, I want to bring on the show at this moment, Miss Lucretia Hughes. Welcome to the show, Lucretia.
Thank you so much.
I tell you what, your bio is amazing. I mean,
I blush every time somebody reads that. That was just when I first ran for state representative, and I had to get a bio together, and I don't like bragging on myself. So that was one of the bios that we put together. I was true.
Right.
But I was part of the outreach committee for the NRA. I was also on the nominating committee for the NRA, and I do a lot of advocating when it comes to the Second Amendment and how the NRA is the second oldest civil rights organization. They came to the South to show Black people how to protect themselves. And look what's going on now when it comes to our Congress, to our leadership, and also what you see on television. Gun owners are getting blamed for everything.
Right. We're sort of breaking up with the audio a little bit, so maybe get a little closer to your mic.
Because we kind of hear it too.
Yeah. But in any case, you know what? I noticed you got the Trump material, so it's no doubt that you're sort of paying attention to what's going on in Congress at the moment. I know that you're very passionate about serving this nation, and of course, if you like you said, you came from a military background. So what do you think? Just briefly, and we'll get into what you're doing because I want people to know how to get in touch with you. But before we get started, Just briefly, what do you think about these impeachment hearings?
It's a crop of crap. It's a crop of crap. Even if the dude is impeached, President Donald Trump, it's the same as Bill Clinton. He's not going anywhere. He's
Right.
not going to go anywhere. People don't understand the concept of exactly what impeachment is. But first, you got to show me where he committed some kind of high crime or treason. Now, I can pinpoint a lot when it comes to our leadership in Washington, how they have actually committed high crimes and treason. But like I tell everybody, this impeachment hearing is the forerunner for the red flag laws.
Right. The red flag log, of course, is where they're coming from for your firearms. And apparently, you're like me. I'm a big supporter of the NRA, and I'm very involved with that organization as well. Tell my audience, one, how did you get started in what you're doing, and how can they find you? How can they get in contact with you?
I got started. I used to be a truck driver, believe it or not, and I used to drive for a major chip company. So of course, we was on the road at night. So I started paying attention to Art Bell, Coast to Coast.
Oh yeah, Art Bell.
You know,
Okay.
they got my mind open to what was going on, and then I started listening to Rush Limbaugh and also Neil Ford. And they used to make me angry because they just tell it like this. But one of the things that Neil Ford and actually Rush has always said, don't believe us, do your own research. So when I started paying attention, and I stumped for Barack Obama, and I was really going to go back in politics with him, I started paying attention to what he was doing and his administration, and I didn't like it at all. And that is when, especially when it came to the veterans, is when I decided to take a stand, because being an Air Force mom, vet, also dad Vietnam Army, stepdad Vietnam Navy, and my other stepfather was the fact.
You breaking up on me, Lucretia. I'm gonna call you on
Okay.
my landline because I really want people to know what we're talking about here. So let me give you a call on the landline, and
Okay.
we'll get you back on.
Absolutely.
And because that's breaking up pretty much for us right there. But go ahead and just keep telling your story though, and of course a lot of people don't know how to get in touch with people like yourself, and you've got a website, and that should be something as well that people want to know. How can they get in touch with you?
Well, you can get in contact with me through Facebook, YouTube, Fallback Productions Studios, LLC. We are out there on social media. You type my name in, you will basically find me wherever you go.
Okay, so they can get you at fallbackproductionstudios.com, and of course
Yes.
find you on Facebook and find you on other avenues as well. And of course, if you want to know more about what we're doing here, you can go to my website. I may be wrong, but I don't think so. .com. And let's see if we got you on the landline here.
Okay.
Are you available now on your landline? I'm not
Yeah.
here. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Let's get you queued up here. All right. So now go ahead. Let's continue this. Now, Trump.
Yes.
How did you connect with President Trump? How did that connection happen?
I haven't ever actually met him, but what got me paying attention to Donald Trump was Dr. Ben Carson.
Okay.
That's what woke me up. I met Dr. Ben Carson at the South Carolina Tea Party State Convention. I met him and Candy, and I just had a really, really great conversation. And he said, you know what? I can't be the only person out here. You need to get out there on the forefront and show us what you really have. So ever since I met Candace, or ever since I met Dr. Ben Carson, they remembered the advice that they gave me. But if you remember during the debates, when it was 16 or 17 Republicans, you had Dr. Ben Carson standing off behind the screen.
Right.
And he didn't hear his name being called. But you had Marco Rubio, you had Sleepy Jeb Bush walking up in front of Dr. Ben Carson. There was one guy named Donald J. Trump that stopped in his tracks, patted him on the back, shook his hand, and told him to go on because his name had been called and he missed it. That is when I really started, taking him seriously.
Send this message now. Press pound or...
So go ahead.
Okay. So that is when I started paying attention to President Trump, and I truly feel that I did not make a mistake.
Well, and people get upset, And I know that you want to kind of turn loose a little bit, and I want to turn you loose because I don't want you to hold back anything. People get upset, especially in the black community, with black conservatives like yourself and like myself. Why do you think that our message is not resonating as well as it should be in our community to this generation?
I have no idea because my stepdad and the way I was raised, you had a book in your hand. You just did not go out there and hang with your friends. You had respect for your elders. You knew what family stood for. You knew what God, family, and country was before you stepped out that door every single morning. What's going on with this generation? I have no idea why we murdered 20 million of our black babies since Roe versus Wade. I
Right.
have no idea why they continue to vote for a Democrat when they don't only come every 2 to 4 years, and that's to blow smoke. I have no idea why they want to continue to be a Democrat when they have moved to your Lord and Savior 3 times. I have no idea what the heck is wrong with the Democratic Party, but that's not my fault. I ain't got to listen. I always tell people, don't believe a thing I have to say. Do your own research, just so you can have an open mind to what's going on. I'm not going to sit here and argue. I don't argue with feelings. I can care less. I do facts. And if you want to talk about, cops and killing black people, then nobody said a damn thing when my son was shot point blank in the head 2.5
Wow.
years ago
Wow.
in a house party. So when you talk about black on black crime, when you talking about a black child to be raised without a father because another black man killed him, I'm there with testimony. When you talk about children, 4 of them before the age of 20, I'm there with testimony. So when you got people out here in the black community that's trying to focus on everything else but what really matters, and that's kitchen tables and leaving a legacy to make sure our grandchildren have something to cling on to besides bitterness, race, and division, I have no idea why our message can't get out there.
Well, I tell you what, you just got it out there. You just poured it all out there. And like you said, the crime rate, the abortion, the incarceration, the drug abuse, selling drugs, bothering the family members being split up, the fatherless homes, all of that leads to poverty, incarceration, and all the things you mentioned, especially toward abortion, and that's near and dear to my heart as well. And in what you're doing in your community, you also are involved in local politics. You're not just out there winging it. What are you doing in your community locally that is trying to make a change?
When I got, we had a problem in Georgia with taxes. Love taxes. Boy, Governor Deal and the Republican Party at that time and the Democrats love taxes. So we had something called T-Slots, like a penny tax, bed tax. They was embedding it into the infrastructure bill. Well, we struck that down because they was putting it in on the amendment. So instead of them doing as the constituents of Georgia wanted them to do, they turned around in the cloak of darkness at the last day of the last hour and gave us a sneak attack. I said, you know what? I've never ran politics a day in my life, but I got $400 to put my name on that ballot to run against the 5th most powerful person in Georgia, because that is who I am. And you know what? I'm not going to jump out there with the little boys. I'm jumping out there with the big boys. So you'll know exactly who I am. I have snatched that chair off and under that table and what we doing here. Because eventually y'all ain't paying attention to us.
Well, you know what? Candace Owens ain't got nothing on you.
Look, I'm older than Candace. I have 4 kids. I don't think she have any. I'm a grandmother. I don't think she has any. I don't think she was raised in the project. This. I ain't hating on the woman, but can we please quit comparing us? We are two different.
You know what? And I've heard that people do that comparison because they've heard you. But I'm telling you, I've heard Candace as well. And like I said, she ain't got nothing on you. But get back to the family, because I noticed you got God, family, and country as part of your theme. What about the family with the falling away of the family when it comes to our faith and our religion and how we were brought up? I know in my generation how I was brought up by a grandmother and a mother who took me to church, who made me go to church, and their morals is who I am today. That's what I'm all about. What do you think that the government could do that could change this, or is this something we're just going to have to do individually? Who do you think, because I know you're going to probably think like I do with big government, but do you think government has a role to play?
Heck no. Less taxes, less government, more self-responsibility. When man stop looking at man to solve man problem, then maybe man can get back to where they need to be, and that's the head of the household. Who be tripping? They have literally moved God 3 times. Democrat Party in August of this year completely wrote God out of their platform. You got Pope Francis over there trying to make a new world religion, and we're supposed to be playing with God. Since they have already taken him out of this nation, he is really walking away. It's that simple.
Right.
Gary, stop waiting on the government to take care of you. There's a song out there that came out in the 30s or the 40s called 16 Tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. While you got the elitists on the wall clapping at your misery as they're whispering sweet nothing in your ear and shout they're the boss of you. You're the boss of yourself.
That's right. And I'll tell you what, we have Lucretia Hughes with us today. And as you can tell, she's not only very sharp on her topic, she's also in tune with what's happening in her community, in her family, and in her politics. And of course, we was very glad to be able to get her on today on the program. And of course, we just have a 30-minute show. So, and of course, I can't wait to come on your show. We sort of going to do a quid pro quo with this, where we share both of our shows, and I want to do more of this. But Lucretia, let me play devil's advocate.
Okay.
Let me play devil's advocate. Black males are being incarcerated much larger, on a larger scale per percentages than any other race. And when you take the black male out of the family and then you incarcerate the black male, how is the black male going to be able to pay their child support? How would they be able to be involved with their children's life? Who is to blame for this mass incarceration of so many black males?
Well, one of them is running for the Democratic Party candidate. His name is Joe Biden. Are we forgetting that Hillary Clinton found a crime bill? Are y'all forgetting them calling us super predators, and we need to be put in our place? That after LBJ said he's going to have those vote Democrats for the next 200 years, as he's taking the man out of the household and giving black women a little bit more money, and they will grab vouchers. When it comes to the black men, I mean, I snap the text. I said, he got out of line. It's better you raise than a CEO.
Right. Well,
and a lot of people have walked away from what their responsibilities are. You go to a grocery store right now, look Tyrone showing out the grocery store. You ain't gonna do nothing about that. So you ain't gonna teach them to raise them right off so you cannot show out in public. Crack the river, because my step-parent children say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. Because it's like this, it's our job. It's mom and their moms and dad alike. That it's our job to raise your kids. Because I'm sorry, you can either be a black judge, you can be a black police officer, or you can be a black convict. Which one you choosing to be?
Well, and you know what? I love your approach to it, because it's very sound approach in terms of making good choices in life. Of course, we all make mistakes, but you don't have to continue making those mistakes generationally. And as you just stated, the discipline in our families are lacking, and the discipline in our school system are lacking. And I know the state of Georgia is having many of the same problems that the state of Tennessee is having when it comes to education. And that is something that needs to be corrected. We need more children.
We're not going to get rid of Common Core. That's a money train. That is indoctrination 101. You cannot even, our kids can't even compete on a national, global level, because they are not even efficient in their own reading, writing, and that's what he's talking about. They have literally caused the dumbing down of our generation, and especially the black generation. When I had the opportunity to go to St. Louis, Missouri, to one of the most richest private schools where they do allow different, ethnic groups, one of the things they said, oh yeah, we let the black kids come when they want to. What? You mean that you let them come to school? You know, they are so diverse and, oppressed that the normal talk is racist. So you just set them up for failure in real life. Because that's
Right.
basically what you're doing.
And of course that's getting back to what you said about LBJ and when he established the Welfare Act. They removed the black male. They basically removed the bull elephant from the herd. And when you do that, the juveniles are going to take over and they're going to run rampant and just destroy a community. And that's what's happened. We don't have a good solid base of role models in the community. And I'm not just slamming black males. This is sort of happening all across this country.
Exactly. No matter what race, creed, or color you are, it's in every race.
Yes.
Everybody wants to regulate. If you want to regulate sin, you can't regulate sin. Evil is evil, and if you don't have any morals or values, and that's what you preach, and especially in schools, then what you expect that next generation to have? No morals, no values. No wonder they hate God, family, country, and pretty much being strong when they want socialism more than they want capitalism.
And you brought up the word socialism. Let's talk about that briefly. With the new Democrats coming into power, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, all the Gang of Four, whatever you want to call them, the Cauldron of Witches, I've heard somebody call them, whatever you want to name them. What has happened to the Democratic Party? I know we don't have just a few minutes, but the Democratic Party that I grew up with is not the Democratic Party that is in power today. What has happened to that party, and do you think it can ever get back to where it used to be?
Ungodliness, lawlessness, no borders, no ICE, freebies, illegal aliens deserve everything. Black people need to stand in our place. We can go on and on. You tell me that ain't my mom's Democrat Party no more.
Right.
Even if you got the old former president of the United States, Barack Obama, come out 2 days ago say y'all need to slow y'all roll. Y'all going way too far to the left. Too late for that. You should have said something last year.
Yeah, and they already cutting ties with Barack Obama. They're basically calling him, that he's too moderate. The Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Bernie Sanders, and Elizabeth Warren are the new voices in that party. Of course, I think this impeachment fiasco is a distraction from the fact that the Democrats really don't have a good candidate.
It's not a distraction. I call it a new nut. So you got to call it a squirrel because they got your head just bouncing all over the place trying to find a nut. This is the same woman that was a bartender last year crying because she could not afford an apartment in Washington, D.C. When she got there, Netflix gave her $10 million. She done started smelling her own self and saying she's the boss of us because you know what? She'll tell us exactly what crumbs are because she didn't even know that was inherent rights that was given to us by the man upstairs until she heard it from Bernie Sanders. Are you kidding me?
Well, and Lucretia, of course, we're getting ready to wrap up in just a minute, but you brought up a name from my past, and I'm not surprised that you have your viewpoints because you listen to Art Bell. And a lot of people probably don't know who Art Bell was or, what he used to do. But if you were a truck driver, if you drove late at night, you probably heard a lot of Art Bell on the airwaves. And I guess that you and I have that in common because I listened to a lot of Art Bell myself. And G. Gordon Liddy was another that I liked to listen to back then. But today's message, let's kind of get this on a positive. Today's message from the Republican Party, from the conservative Republicans, especially the black conservatives, is this our year? Is 2020 going to be the year that the black conservatives break that political glass ceiling out of the Democrat Party and escape that plantation? Is this the year?
You got to have that mindset because I do. I have that mindset that, you know what, we the most hated class in the United States, black conservatives. But we're a new breed of conservatives. We ain't going to mince our words. We ain't got time for that. And we're going to tell you like TI just because we know what we're fighting for. So when we shot this documentary, me and my fiance went around the United States because I got so tired of being talked about super predators, overpaid babysitters, tax you, them, everything free for illegals. I said, you know what? It's got to be people out there that feel like I do. I traveled 4 states and I walked up to over 200 people and put a microphone in their face that says, you know what makes America great to you? And everything from black, white, Hispanic, it did not matter. It was God, family, country, Trump. The first three never changes. I don't care who's sitting in the White House in 2024, but those first three things that you're fighting for while you wake up in the morning is God, family, country. Now, if we can focus on that, because that's what the Democrats have completely wiped off the face. We already talked about God. We could talk about family, and it's talked about, the traditional marriage no longer matters. You got a 3-year-old talking about he wants to be Tommy or Susie, and then you have all this stuff. And then when it comes to the country, they don't even want flag up anymore. You have segregated college graduation now. You can't even say the Pledge of Allegiance, and there's no loyalty of being a nationalist to the United States of America. When you realize exactly why they're trying to destroy these first three, that should give you a big enough backbone, not only the black conservatives, the white conservatives, the Hispanic conservatives, to fight for God, family, country, and until 2024, Trump in that court.
Well, I tell you what, and this has been a great sit down with you, and I want to do this more. And hopefully we'll get the sound thing worked a little better, but I'm just glad to have you on. And before we go, give the audience how they can find you, the documentary, and also where they can find your broadcast.
Absolutely. You can find us at fallbackproductionstudios.com. That's where majority of the documentary is at. It's also on Fallback YouTube, and you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Periscope, you name it. I'm out there under my name because I have nothing to hide. It's Lucretia Hughes. And if you feel like you want the merchandise that we do, because we just don't do, we don't beg for donations. We try to give you some goods and services. We have our own embroidery business. We have our own line of merchandise that we do in-home because we are entrepreneurs, because we did step up, because we are following the American dream. And then you can go to LivySouls.com or just contribute at Patreon, Lucretia Hughes, because this is not cheap.
Well, I tell you what, Lucretia, I really thank you for coming on today. I hope to meet you in person sometime. And, of course, we're close enough. You're in Georgia. I'm in Tennessee. So there's no reason why, as Tea Party Patriots, we shouldn't be able to hook up somewhere. And, of course, I want to thank you, and I want to tell you, God bless you for what you're doing out there. And thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you. And don't forget, when you coming on my show?
I'm coming on as soon as you call me. Let's do it. Let's set it up.
Well, tonight from 5 to 7 on the Range broadcast, also Penn Media. And then I'll come back on till 9 o'clock.
All right.
Right now, we just had a conversation. Hopefully, we can continue this on past the end of this month. So you never know what God has in store. I have to walk in faith and not by sight, and pray that we're doing the right thing. And the backing, the funding will come in to continue this fight. Because if we stop fighting, Satan is won.
Amen. Thank you. God bless you. Of course, that was Lucretia Hughes, and we want to come in. And you know what? She nailed a lot of things that a lot of people are ignoring, especially when it comes to the state of family, the state of God in our lives, and also what's going on in our country, especially at our border. We need to be more aware of what's coming across that border, what's coming into our schools, what's coming into our churches, what's infiltrated our governments. And we need to let people know that we're out here fighting every day to people like Lucretia all across this country, millions of Americans, not just black Americans, white Americans, or brown Americans, or yellow Americans. We're talking about every American is out here trying to fight for what's right in this country. And I want to thank you for joining us today. Of course, I may be wrong, but I don't think so.com. You can find us there. And, of course, listen to the broadcast. But God bless you. God bless America, and peace.
You've been listening to Alfonso Ashworth, the Barry White of Podcast Radio. Go forth and share his message. I may be wrong, but I don't think so. Remember, no two people can ever occupy the same place at the same time. You were uniquely and wonderfully made. Born an original. Don't die a copy. God bless. Peace.